Welcome back to BSG Annual 2021, benefiting Mind. We are now ready for our next run. We have GhostSenpai running Crash Bandicoot Warped, any percent no item glitch. Ghost, take it away.
Thanks, Hal, and hello everybody. As I was introduced, my name is GhostSenpai, also known as Ghost, also known as Fantasma Mas, also known as Fantasma, and for some reason some people call me Mas, which means plus in English, but that's not the case here, because we're going to be talking about Crash Bandicoot Warped, this mini Crash Bandicoot block after an amazing NST Crash 1 run by Dago. So before I can start my run, I'm gonna make a little setup, which is gonna consist that I'm gonna be losing a life on purpose just to reset the cycles. So let's see how this is gonna. Okay, I'm gonna assume that we are ready for the time. I'm gonna go for an RTA timing for this game, which is gonna be when I click on new game. So 3, 2, 1. Go. Alright, so Crash Bandicoot 3, third Crash Bandicoot game, released in 1998 for the PlayStation. And the first thing that we're going to be doing is that before I can access this stage, I'm going to deactivate the sound effects, because there are some cutscenes that get triggered depending on your amount of crystals or which stages that you visit, where Cortex and his allies, or maybe also Aku Aku, talks to us. And that paid us time talking about skipping those cutscenes. So if we deactivate the sound effects for some reason and those cutscenes doesn't get played, so we're gonna be saving a little amount of time, because why not? I began here on Under Pressure, the second stage of the game, because I used the data abuse before I began with the run, just to reset the cycles on the stage and try to move slightly faster at the beginning of the stage. Pretty boring stage, if I'm being honest. This is just the kind of underworld stages that, for some reason, game developers have been thinking that these kind of stages are real amazing on video games, when they're all these sort of things. But we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about more aspects of the game, like here that I have messed it up a little. Well, this is not a skip, but I was going to go directly through this pipe, but I just got some problems with my thumbs, I guess, and I wasn't quickly enough to move to that section. So here we got this, I don't know, underwater motorbike, or I have never known how these things are called, but this is the way that we're gonna be using to move slightly faster. That's everything. Nothing interesting here to mention. And now let's move to the third stage of the game, because like Crash Bandicoot 2, comparing this with Crash 1, the stages are not linear, so we get different. We have a warp room, we have 5 stages, we can complete the stages at any order. So I'm just trying to go for a specific route, depending also on which warp room I am visiting, and also the amount of masks that I have. So here at Orient Express, this is the first stage. We're going to be playing as Coco, which is Crash's little sister. And this is the first game where she became a playable character. And every time that I jump, I'm gonna be saving 1 frame, so I'm not jumping randomly. It's gonna look if I'm jumping randomly, but the real thing is that yes, I'm jumping randomly, but every jump saves 1 frame for some reason. I don't know why, but it saves a frame. The game runs at 30 FPS. I don't know exactly how much time in seconds can be a frame, but we can count that. We can do the math in order to see how much time we're gonna save. And let's see if I get this skip, because I was practicing this, and there we go, 5 seconds saved. So that's the cuddle skip. What happened there is that I tried to jump on a specific spot, on a specific timing, because for some reason you can get clipped on the roof. And if I keep pressing the jump button, I'm gonna keep there, I'm not gonna go down, and at the same time what is gonna happen is that at the end of that stage, automatically Coco and Pura are gonna jump. So if I put them on a higher position like I have done, I'm gonna reach directly the warping thing, and well, the warping path. And with that, I'm just gonna skip the cuddle animation that Coco and Pura make. We're gonna be watching that later on stage 10, so if you wanna see that animation work, we're gonna be watching that later on the run. And with that, I just saved 5 seconds, so saves in marathons. I was talking with Hot about that skip that I was well, before when my stream was being set enough that I got the skip on the practice, and I was pretty sure I wasn't gonna get it here in the marathon, so I'm really happy that I got it. And now, stage number 5, pretty boring stage. Just keep pressing the cross button, and that's everything. That's something bad about the any person category, because on 105%, which is the fully competition of the category of the game, you go for all the boxes. But here, which are the requirements for any percent? So any percent no OG, which stands to no item glitch. It's the intended any person ruled by the developers, where we need to get all 25 crystals and defeat coordinates. We need to get the crystals in without breaking the game in order to get them. That's a separate category, which is the any percent, but in this case we are on any percent not in match. And now that I have played 3 random stages, let's play the first stage of the game. Sometimes I'm gonna be forgetting the names of the stages, so I'm the kind of person who even doesn't remember his breakfast, and now that I'm thinking about this is what I have taken for breakfast. I don't remember exactly. That's not the point. Now we're gonna be introduced into the main movement category, which is the neutral slide spin. This basically means that every time that I perform a slide, I'm gonna be releasing the D-pad, or if you're using the analog stick, you release the analog stick, and before the slide finishes, I'm gonna jump. With this, I'm gonna keep the speed of the slide on the air, and sometimes I'm gonna be performing a zigzag because that also helps us to move slightly faster. So this is gonna be a kind of combination between zigzagging and NJs, which are the neutral slide jumps. And also the masks are really important because at the same time that we get an invisibility pace, this helps to us to move this helps to us to our movement because we can go slightly faster. So the masks are really important in this run. So in case that I lose a mask, I'm gonna be changing slightly my route. So hopefully that's not gonna happen, but we know what happens when people run games a marathon, so I'm gonna be expecting that at some point I will be practicing the backup route. Well, I'm not gonna be practicing, I'm gonna be performing the backup route. So I'm just gonna pray in order that my brain can remember which was that route. So I'm really worried about how I am. You know, Boneyard stage 4, we're gonna be chasing by this big dinosaur that I always forget the kind of dinosaur that this guy is, but we just need to try to don't get caught by this, and that's everything. But that big dinosaur cannot come down. So just keep moving here slightly free because later on the stage we're gonna be having this bad guy again. And also that grass makes that we move slow. The good thing about having the mask is that it gets destroyed automatically. But unfortunately, there's gonna be okay, I moved slow here, and it doesn't matter. This grass at the end is the one that I cannot destroy, so I just perform a spin while I made some zigzagging with my movement, so I can get out there slightly quick. So yeah, now I'm gonna pretend that I'm getting focused into completing the rest of the stage, because the real thing is that I don't have nothing interesting to mention here. Plus, this is just a short section, so that shouldn't be a matter. Shouldn't be a problem. And yeah,
I'll quickly jump in with a donation.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you very much. We have a €15 donation from Cone, who says, "Thank you for the event and good luck for the runs."
Now that's what I call a good timing. And don't worry, in this section, if you skip the first cutscene really quick, the music's not gonna get played. So I was expecting here to give some space for any announcements, so if there are some extra ones, they can be done on a bit. I'm just gonna explain this really quick. Tiny Tiger, 5, 6, and 7 hits, and we're done. If I keep on that corner, for some reason the lions are not gonna attack us. And Windows is trolling me. That's all that I need. 5, 6, 7 times. You keep on that corner, and pretty easy boss fight. And for some reason on this intro, if you try to do that glitch, what is gonna happen is that all the crowd is gonna start to throw you slices of cheese. I will say I can say that was a good Easter egg by the developers. Now, station number 7, this is the section where ghosts always forget the names of stages, but we get the idea about what are we gonna do. And this is like an example about why do you need to keep your masks. Okay, that was something risky. Because from this warp room, this is the most important stage where you need to use the masks. Because we have this section of rails where the movement is really slow. We're gonna be watching that later on the stage. So these stages have one mask. So I need to be careful with that and begin the stage with 2 masks and try to don't lose them. No! Okay. I don't know why Crash decided to move to the left, but that was really interesting. I mean, it's bad that I have died because I lose the masks anyways. But at least I was able to show you the example about what's gonna happen if you crash. Please get the crystal. That's your only objective on this theory. Well, I was able to show you why the masks are important. And also, if on this trampoline, for some reason, if you spin, you're not gonna jump. And I don't know why I decided to go against that nature box. Yeah, this is not my day, definitely. Or maybe, I don't know, we're starting with this. The good thing about dying is, again, some cycles get reset, so I'm gonna try to use that on my side as a backup. And since I have blocked the masks, and there are other stages where I'm gonna require them, I'm gonna go to stage number 6, which is the backup from this warp room, because this is one of the few stages where you get 3 masks. Because regularly you have 2 or 1 mask per stage, so that's why that's something really important with the route on this game. So I get here 1 mask, and the second mask you get. You can get the second mask on this Gambling box. So again, I'm not gonna be having nothing interesting to mention here, so if there's more announcements to do, this is a good time for you. We have like a minute. Otherwise,
Thank
I'm
you
gonna...
very much.
Yeah.
We just like to remind everyone that aside from BSG events and their own marathons, the ESA hosts many other events across Europe, including the British UKSG, Hackathon, and more. So be sure to drop a follow to see whenever something is live. And if you'd like to participate in an event similar to BSG, we would highly recommend checking out UKSG. UKSG is an event that's normally held in Glasgow, running 4 times a year supporting Crisis, and currently they are also doing their events online for the time being. Do please keep your donations coming in. We have passed 500 euros donated already, and all your donations are going to Mind, a fantastic charity supporting people with mental health issues.
Remember, everybody, your donations are for the good cause. I got a little problem here. I don't know if somebody's paid attention to that, otherwise I'm going to be explaining it. At the end of the stage, I was trying to perform the neutral slide jump, but for some reason Crash got stuck. That's a problem with the main trilogy, which are the drop inputs. Naturally, these games used to drop a lot of your inputs, because there are some frames where for some reason the game doesn't register which button you have pressed. So if I get catch for one of those frames, maybe some bad stuff can happen. So let's see, and if that's not a problem, and I really hope that doesn't happen. Also, some good things about the neutral slide jump is that you can reach pretty long sections. For example, instead of activating that switch, I just can perform the NSJ without problems and reach the platform without needing that it start moved. So let's keep on going ahead. I don't consider this as a backup strat, but if I began this stage with 1 mask, I used to take the other mask on the left side, which is for the color gem route. That doesn't save time, but it can help you mostly if you're running the game in a marathon or you're trying to do reset runs. So as you can see, we are traveling around the world, and not just that, but we're traveling on time, and I'm gonna be explaining the plot of the game in a bit. Because the game begins on the complete Crash Bandicoot through the 100%, where the Cortex space and the Cortex Vortex get destroyed. So a part of the space station falls into the Earth, and that makes that Uka Uka, the evil twin of Aku Aku, gets free from his prison. For a moment I forgot which is the generator type. And due to that, now, well, Uka Uka meets Neocortex. It's supposed that he got instructions to Cortex to dominate the world, but he failed twice thanks to Crash Bandicoot. But since now Uka Uka is not in his prison anymore, he feels a bit pleased. So he's gonna give a third opportunity to Neocortex to dominate the world. So using the Entropy time machine, they are planning to travel around the world to get the crystal gems and relics in order to use their power to dominate the world. But since we are the good guys, we need to travel around the world in time first using Entropy machine, so we can get all these elements before Cortex and Relics can do it. So yeah, that's the story of Crash Bandicoot. Because maybe you were like me, and since the game wasn't a language that you doesn't dominate, so when you played this as a kid, there was a chance that you didn't understand what was gonna happen, but for some reason you were able to play this without problems. And let's introduce you a little peak horrors. I don't know how to define this, but this is like a way to make that people understand back in 1998 that maybe there was gonna be a Crash racing game. Oh well, that's something that just came from my imagination, so don't consider that. So, Road Crash, we have three. No, sorry, this is Hot Wild. One of the three motorbike stages that we're gonna be watching on the run. In order to get the crystal, the mechanic is different here because it's not randomly placed on the stage. We need to complete the race on first place if we wanna get the crystal. If we finish on second or less, we're gonna be taken out of the stage, and at the same time we need to re-access to it. I'd like that change is likely on instantly because it gives you the opportunity to restart the stage without feeling unnecessary of being pushed back to the warp room. I messed it up a little bit there, and I'm glad that I haven't fallen. And now it's time to face Dingodile, second boss of the game, and we're gonna be watching a kind of trick slash glitch slash depending about how you wanna consider this. This is the second boss fight. It's supposed that Dingodile was gonna throw first some fire flames, and after a while he was gonna start to destroy the walls that are protecting him. But we're speedrunners, we don't follow game rules, we make our own rules, so in order to defeat the really quick Dingodile, what I'm doing is that I'm performing a slide, and at the same time I'm jumping and spinning. So with this I can jump slightly higher than intended, so I can walk through these walls and just defeat Dingodile quickly. That's happening. Second boss defeated. And now we can see Crash Dance. And remember to stay hydrated. Because for some reason, as I've said before, I'm the kind of person who uses to forget his breakfast, and I was forgetting to stay hydrated. So let's go move to double header, stage 15. Will I take a sip of water? Okay. For some reason, this stage can crash sometimes your game. I used to see that happens on 105%. That reason is because the console has a lot of things to load. But at least I'm glad that the game has never crashed for me on this stage. And also, this is an important stage where you need to start with 2 masks because we just have just a single mask. And I got trolled by one of the drop inputs. Unfortunately, the game decided to don't register my jumping input. And again, it dropped it. Oh my goodness. What a nice luck, I should say. I'm gonna do this safely. I don't wanna fall down again. Unless I have completed the important section with the masks, so I'm fine with that. But yeah, nothing interesting to mention. So I'm just gonna try to pretend that I'm getting focused just to ignore the fact that I don't have nothing to say. So if the host can't wanna make any kind of announcements, this is a good time for it.
Yeah, no problem at all. You can stay updated with our events by following us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle BSG Marathon. You can get a behind the scenes look of the event, stay up to date with the latest news on our marathons, events and more. We're also in the process of uploading all of our VODs to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/BSG Marathon, so do be sure to check it out and subscribe to find one new video per day in your feed.
Now it's stage 12. This is my least favorite stage, but fortunately this is the last underwater stage that we're gonna be watching. This is a pretty long stage, mostly when you're going for the full completion of the game. Because at the end of the stage you need to activate the switch and then go back and do an alternative route. Fortunately we don't need to do that here. But at the same time, that doesn't avoid the fact that this thing is really annoying sometimes to complete. And this is considered as a backup stage because here you cannot get the invincibility phase with the masks, and there's just one mask on this stage, and it doesn't spawn if you came to this section with 2 masks. Instead of that, we're going to be having a question mark box that is going to give to us 10 Goomba fruit because those are not apples, are Goomba fruit. And like on any other video game where you collect those kind of things, when we get 100 Goomba fruit, we're gonna be getting an extra lot. The annoying things for me here are these whirlpool things, the balloon fishes, and almost everything. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm gonna be winning if I decide to lie to the people. Let's be honest about everything here. Unless this underwater bikes helps you to move slightly faster, so it's really important here to try to keep it up. Because comparing it with the regular swimming, this is faster. It doesn't matter that I have lost the bike here because this is the end of the stage. And close to those ripples, you used to lose the water bike, so you just can go ahead to the warping point. This is not a backup stage, but I consider it as my personal backup stage because I don't used to go for the invincibility route here. We just have again 1 mask, and I'm gonna be really lucky if I can finish the stage with all the masks. And with all, I mean the mask that I'm having right now and the mask that I'm gonna be getting. Yep. Because my main problem here are those trampolines, and there are a lot of them, and I got a good cycle there with those enemies that throw some fire flames, and I have lost the mask. Nice. I'm pretty sure that I have made a spin at the correct moment, so I was gonna be able to perform damage to that scorpion. But looks like the game said no. Yeah, this is my life, this is my pain, this is my everything with this game. And this is the mask that I was looking for, but looks like we're gonna be having the invincibility pace on the next stage of what we're gonna be playing. But it's fine. I can say I just lose a little amount of seconds, but I have all of that considered into my estimate. My PB is 51 minutes and 7 seconds, in case somebody was wondering about that. And yes. Special note for my brain. Try to remember what is supposed that you said here on comment because it looks like you're forgetting everything. Note from my brain to me. I went on my page. Interesting. Okay, that was high time. Let's move to Dynamite stage 11, and again we're gonna be here we're gonna be having a little new friend that we can just And at the same time, I need to mention something related to it. Because remember, this game was released in 1998. And as always, Sony was looking to have all kind of innovations on video games. And I know that this game wasn't developed by Sony, but Naughty Dog decided to follow Sony's rules and try to look for something new in a video game, because you are wondering which can be a good innovation, what can be a good thing to add to a new video game. We are in 1998, we are on a year where 3D platforming games are being a thing. What is supposed that we need to do? Okay, but the new innovation is this. We're riding now a little dinosaur. Remember, 1998. Any video game has done this before. And this was performed by a Bandicoot. If you think that a plumber has done that first, maybe you're having something. Maybe you are having something that your brain has created for you, because that have never existed before. First Bandicoot made it first. And we say bye to the little dino. Dinosaur doesn't take time, but I like to grab it just for memes and because it looks cool. And another chasing section. And for some reason my head is... well, I'm having a little headache right now. So nice, this is definitely not my day. But you know which day is good? You know which is the good thing about the day? The good thing is that we have begun with BSG Annual 2021. This is just the first day of the marathon, and we're gonna be having amazing runs through the rest of the week. So keep tuning, keep watching, and remember to donate for a good cause. And now, stage 14, Road Crash. Personally, I consider this is the most annoying stage from all the 3 motorbike stages. This is not the most longest, but the problem with this is that there's a lot of obstacles and it's kinda difficult to move sometimes between the AI characters. Mostly due to that, all these obstacles are not helpful sometimes, and the movement can be a bit tight, so you need to be really careful with the movements. Usually when people are starting to run this game or lane it, it's gonna be normal that from all the 3 motorbike stages they need to repeat at least one time this stage. And even since I have been running this game since like 4 years ago, I still having some problems sometimes with this stage. I barely fail this, but I'm not gonna say that I don't do that. Because in some marathons in the past, I unfortunately needed to repeat this stage. But looks like this is not gonna be the case, because after that, 4 boxes, if I am on 3rd place, that's a good signal. And also a good thing is that if you move pretty away, sometimes the other characters are not gonna be loaded, so you can feel free to complete the race without problems. I don't know if that's a glitch or something, but sometimes that has happened to me. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but this guy is being rude, definitely. Also, being on one wheel is the fastest way to move. And this is another problem on the stage, that it's kinda tricky to try to keep crashing one wheel. So yeah. Road Crash, I'm glad that I have completed this stage. Because we're gonna be moving to the 3rd boss fight, which is the evil guy who made this time machine that we're using. And yes, the game decided to drop my jump input again. So again, we're gonna be having a similar glitch to the Tiny Tiger boss fight, but the difference is that the music is just gonna... the starting point from the music is just gonna be delayed. So on a bit, the music is gonna begin to play. Something curious about the game is that on the Japanese version, the Tiny Tiger music glitch is fixed, but the intro won't know. There was a time that I decided to run the Japanese version just for memes, and I discovered that there was a chance that the game can crash after the fourth boss fight. And also, loading times are 0.3 seconds slower. So for this category, if you play in the Japanese version, you're going to be losing 18 seconds on loads. And well, Nefarious Trophy is going to be throwing some steam balls, or well, heat balls, or I don't know how to define that. But there are things that we need to avoid. And then he's gonna be throwing these laser beams that we just need to avoid. Something good about all of these things is that the pattern is the same always, so you don't need to get worried about that. And 3 hits and you're done. And also something I was forgetting to mention is that every time that you beat a boss, you're gonna be unlocking a power. When I defeated Tiny Tiger, I got the double jump. When I defeated... I don't know what I'm forgetting all this stuff. When I defeated Dingodile, I got the double jump. No, sorry, I got the Super Body Slam when I defeated Tiny Tiger. I got the double jump when I defeated Dingodile, and now that I defeated the Forest Trophy, I got the Tornado Spin. And now I have started with stage 18, which is the backup, because I just have one mask. The important stages here are the stages 20, 16, 19, and 20, where you need to start with 2 masks. So you just need to be careful trying to keep the mask that I have, and at the same time keeping this additional mask that I have right now, because on Coco stages you cannot get the invisibility phase. Again, another minute where I'm gonna be trying to get in focusing the fact that I run out of things to comment, so Mr. Host, feel free to talk and say anything that needs to be mentioned.
Thank you very much, Ghost. Yeah, I just want to let you guys know about some of the prizes that we have for your bids. For a minimum bid of €5, you can potentially win yourself a €25 gaming gift card of your choice. For a €10 minimum bid, that goes up to a potential €50 gaming gift card. And also at the moment, we currently have open, if I just double check to make sure I'm correct, yes, the Sonic the Hedgehog figurine, the controller stand, is currently available for a €5 minimum bid. So do please keep your donations coming in. All your donations are benefiting Mind at the moment, and there are some great prizes that are potentially available for you to win for your minimum bids.
Okay, so people in the chat, I think that this is the moment where we need to talk seriously. I have seen that Sonic the Hedgehog thing, that it's one of the prizes, and I donated €5, so I suppose that now I'm one of the few people that can have the opportunity to win it. So if you want to fight me in that way, also donate $5 and try to get it, because I really want that, but if you get it, at least I'm gonna be happy that somebody else has donated. And yes, miss the warping. But I don't know, also the controller seems attractive, so maybe at some point I'm gonna be donating another amount of extra money because I wanna get that custom controller also. So remember, if you donate, you're gonna be part of all the raffles, so if you're lucky enough, you also can get it. Maybe I can get it, maybe no, maybe someone else can do it, and why are you losing the opportunity of being one of the 14 people that are gonna get one of those prizes when you donate? Just donate and see what's gonna happen. Maybe, I don't know, something good can arrive to your home. And, well, getting back to the game, stage 20, and I'm gonna show you another of the good things about having the invisibility pace and why it's really important to begin this stage with 2 masks. Because as I said before, this stage just have 1 mask, and we have a problem here. That problem is the water, because the water rises up after some cycles, and when I get the mask, the cycles keep running on the background, but the water doesn't rise up. So unless here I can move slightly faster, so that's why the 3 masks are important. I can move on this section slightly fast. And I stayed like 30 seconds, I think, maybe a bit more, getting the masks here. And I was able to... No, I haven't reached a good cycle, Otherwise, I shouldn't have stayed on that platform, and I should have moved directly here. I'm gonna wait here just to make this slightly safe. And that's the Mac Tornado. Well, the Tornado Spin. I don't know what I was saying, Mac Tornado. Mac Tornado is a strat for the asynchronous version of this game. And that's something I haven't mentioned yet, that first of all, shoutouts to BSG staff for allowing me to run this game. It's not really common to watch OG Crash Bandicoot games on platforms. Usually, Insert games have been the one that have been featured in a lot of marathons. So I'm really happy that on this event we got both original and Insane Trilogy versions of Crash 1 and 3. And that's what I need to say. Well, what I wanted to say. Shoutouts to BSG staff for that. Now, another stage where I just have one mask that it's hiding here. And when I was practicing the game, I said that I wasn't gonna go for this skip, but I'm gonna do it anyways. There we go, I got it. Because for some reason my inputs has been trolling me there and I wasn't able to get that little skip. Because if I go for that, I'm just gonna avoid the platform and all the traps on the floor. They're gonna prevent me to move slightly faster. And that's everything. So I'm really happy that I got that. Because I don't know why, it's supposed that some time ago I was consistent into getting that. For some reason the game has been telling to me that when it wants, it's gonna allow me to do that. And I'm glad that this was one of the few times that was a reality. I'm gonna wait for this bad guy, and I just keep moving. Lavaste la cara y el mundo no. Also, sometimes those monkeys can be a bit annoying, but I'm really happy that less on this version of the game, those are not a problem. I used to have personally more problems on the HRT version of this game with those monkeys. And after that, let's go to the future. Stage 19, Future Frenzy. Here, the way that we're going to be playing the stage is going to change a bit, because we're going to be moving to different sections. This is not like a continuous stage, or I don't know how to define that. But later here, we're going to be having a platform that's going to move to us to the next section of it. This kind of futuristic city, where we have this kind of robots that they can have a hit shield that obviously we cannot hit them with that pace. Also, hi Crash. I said hi Crash. Okay, go back away. Nobody wanna watch your face. Okay, people have watched it. We're done. Also, this is another. I was aware that was gonna happen, because I was gonna say that on this section also your inputs can get dropped a lot. And unfortunately I haven't got the invincibility pace here, but it's fine. I'm just gonna pretend that I'm gonna be moving safely, which the third thing is that I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm just gonna be taking risks. And this is gonna play an important role in the future in order to make that BSG staff can consider if I can get a save in the other momentum. Because if I take so much risk, there's gonna be a high factor, a high possibility that I can run out of the estimate. If I keep doing that, maybe there's not gonna be more ghosts on a future events, but it's not gonna be the fact here. I'm just gonna keep walking randomly. I'm gonna keep trying to pretend that I know what I'm doing on the stages, because the real thing is that now I know what am I doing. But if the game decides to cooperate, I'm not gonna receive damage. I'm not gonna be able to keep moving without problems. I really like that there are a lot of platforms and those cool things on this stage. And also, it doesn't matter that I don't finish the stage with masks. So it's fine that I have lost one mask and I just have one right now, because the next stage that I'm gonna be playing is gonna quit me all the masks that I have. So it's fine for me, I guess. And now, stage 17, and it's time to say goodbye to Coco because this is gonna be the last stage where we're gonna be playing as her. Bye bye, balloons. So the mechanic on this stage is definitely different than the other stages because here we're gonna be playing on this plane and we need to destroy these planes. The good thing about these things is that their hitbox is really extended, really high, so this is not like a big problem. Plus, the AI characters make you 1 to 2% damage per hit, so I'm not so worried about that. Plus, they're a bit silly on this stage, so that's not like a problem for me. And also, they can go directly to where you're shooting, so you can take them down really easy. And I'm gonna ignore the balloon that is gonna restore my health because I don't need it. And I know that I'm playing so much with my luck, but believe me, I don't need it. Even if somebody plays this stage, it's really easy to avoid all of these enemies, so you shouldn't be worried about that. And also another difference that this thing has with the remakes is that these stages for some reason on NST are really easy. More easier than the original game because the aim is not automatic, but you don't need to keep pressing the directional buttons in order to keep aiming. And sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I was away. Definitely this is the last stage with Coco, which is the boss fight against Engine. This boss has 2 phases. This is the easiest one, when it's on this mecha body, where I just need to destroy all of these parts that are gonna be throwing bullets or gonna be... Okay, 38%, I can deal with that. I'm gonna be playing slightly safe. Yeah, because those missiles takes a good amount of time to kill you. So I'm gonna be playing the second phase at slightly safe. So I made a little bit mistake here. And now we have a little friend here with us, which is Pura, who is gonna be helping us to make more damage to this second phase with Engine. The annoying things are these things in the middle. Okay, this is bad. 30% of health. Bless! For good luck, let's pray. It's time for praying, guys, because I'm so close to die. And I'm gonna die. Am I alive? I suppose that's happened. Okay, let's pray, let's see! I'm gonna try to have some faith on myself in order to try to complete this with 3% of health. I don't know, this is gonna be a new milestone for me if I'm able to do this. I just try to destroy the missiles also. I wanna see if I can defeat this with 3% of health. So I'm taking some extra time because I'm destroying the missiles also. There we go! Oh my goodness. I feel that so close. And I got the Fruit Bazooka, which it's a bazooka that shoots fruit. Very deep explanation about that weapon, if you ask me. And if you don't, whatever, I just have to say that. And, well, we have seen Bye Bye Blimps. Now let's see which is the real nightmare, the real pace killer of the game, which is Mad Bombers. Gameplay mechanic is gonna be similar to Bye Bye Blimps, but the difference is that here we have planes that have 2 motors, and the hit zone for this it's really reduced. So it's a bit complicated to try to defeat this plane from a long distance. Plus now looks like the enemies here which are the best of the stage, weren't shuffled properly between this and the previous stage. So it looks like all the newbies all the new people on the Vortex side were put on the Coco stage, and here we have the complicated AI characters because they are more aggressive and they make you 4% of damage. So yeah, and right now I need a balloon, a help balloon. Plus, at the same time, I'm gonna be trying to avoid the enemies because I'm running out of health, and sometimes, yes, I was aware that I was gonna die there. But you know, which is a good thing about that I have died there is that when I die once I'm in this stage, I'm not gonna die again. So it's fine. I have all of this contemplated on my estimate. And this is real a pace killer due to that, because it's kinda complicated sometimes to go for a good route in order to destroy all the planes. Plus the AI characters are really aggressive, as you have seen. Mostly their shoot, because they make 4% of damage, or sometimes for some reason they can make 2% of damage. I don't know if that's a glitch or something related to the fast speed mode on a PS2. Because we know that all PS1 games can be played on a PS2, and a golden rule on PlayStation speedruns is that you can use a PS2 to run PS1 games, because the PS2 can make the disc spin faster, so you can reduce time in loadings. I think that in an average time, this saved like 2 minutes in loading. I was a bit scared, I'm not gonna lie. Just go down, please. Thank you. Thank you and goodbye. Those guys are really annoying. So again, another minute that I'm not gonna have nothing to say. I have said all the bad things about this stage because definitely there's nothing good about it, so if there are more announcements that need to be done, this is a very good moment for it.
Thank you very much, Ghost. We've had a couple of donations come in. We have a €5 donation from Ashgard who says, well, I've definitely got to put my hat into the ring for that Sonic stand now. Good luck, Senpai. And that one is going towards the horse name choice for Ghost of Tsushima. So yeah, thank you very much for that donation. And the second one that we have is a €5 donation from Big Smoke, who says, I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda. And it will probably come as no surprise to learn that that one is going towards the famous Big Smoke order cutscene for GTA San Andreas. Thank you very much for your donations.
So, look like somebody wants that Sonic stack. Let me tell you something, my boy. It's gonna be a duel between us. Let's going back to the game. A box light, stage 25, and the only stage that can give you 4 masks. Again, the previous stage, as with Bye Bye Glimpse, could you all your masks. So, it's a good stage to. Well, that's a good stage to start the game. Well, to begin with this warp room, and also to play at last. Because after this, we're going to be playing the stage 21, which is an important one to have the masks, because again, you just have 1 mask. So this is something really good also. I really like this, because this is more like, okay, the previous stage was really kind of annoying experience, so you can get all the 3 masks for free. And the player can be on a pace like, okay, that's a deal. And also a box light, because you need to catch all these little guys that are gonna be putting some light on the rooms, because as you have seen, those are really dark. I'm still trying to learn where I need to move, because I would like to run this game on a point where I don't need to catch those bugs and I can keep moving freely on the stage. I just decided to wait there to be like decided, because I wasn't sure if I was on the correct cycle in order to avoid the closing walls and being able to move slightly fast. And go tomorrow after the 3 masks. Go tomorrow is the name of the stage, and stay hydrated. So here again, we're gonna be having this futuristic kind thing which is pretty curious because the Warp Room has the future thematic, the future topic, but we have here the Fruta Suka. But there are just 2 of these stages in all the game. And again, the only mask. And shoutouts to myself that I was able to begin this stage with 2 masks. I don't remember when was the last time I got this. So I'm pretty happy that I'm getting this more than a marathon. So yes. And again, weird movements with the camera. While we wait into being moved to the next section of the stage. Here now it doesn't matter if I lose the mask because the next stage doesn't have masks. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna be losing them because there's a special stage after this, stage 23, that I'm gonna be telling you something about that once I reach that stage. Because there's a good chance that it's the worst stage in all the game and I have lost a mask. I wasn't planning to do that. And you will know the reasons about that on a bit. We just need to keep waiting here. That again, we have nothing to mention because we haven't mentioned everything related to these things before. So let's just keep moving into the platforms and that's gonna be everything for now. And we can skip this big guy just doing this with the tornado spin. Now, stage 23. Or as I like to call it, backup pace killer. Because my pace killer here is Mad Bombers. And this is my backup pace killer in case that my pace killer has failed. And this is a really interesting stage, Flaming Passion. Because some people in the community likes to call this flaming. In the second world, it's spelled like ASS. I haven't said the word, so I'm fine, I guess. And the reason why this stage is called like that is because there are new masks here. I don't know exactly if developers forgot that, or if there's a really deep reason in order to don't have masks here. Because this stage is kind of complicated. Because again, we have seen a lot of TNT boxes and a lot of enemies. Crash, again, your only objective is to get the crystal. Just get the crystal, my friend. Thank you. And little out of bounds trick. There we go. Because with that, we just can skip the intended way to complete that and save like a second. Remember guys, every frame on a speedrun matters. Every frame matters. Well, I can agree that level design is good, but it's a bit annoying to complete sometimes. Mostly when you are learning the game. Even to this day, I like to play this a bit safe. Due to that, because also for some reason the game decides to clip me on the last section. If I do this, sometimes I get clipped there. I'm glad that I haven't got that clip because otherwise I should have died. And it looks like I'm gonna be finishing barely on my estimate, but there's a small chance that I can finish out of my estimate, so I feel bad man about that. Because what had affected me was to lose the masks in the moment where I wasn't expecting to lose them. Moving the second war room. You know, we're on Shasfeld, last stage that we need to complete, stage 22. Again, a long stage, nothing to mention, just keep pressing the cross button and comparing this with Road Crash, there are less obstacles that you need to get worried about. So, again, it is a good time for the announcement. We have like a minute again.
Thank you very much. One of the prizes is for a BSG custom PS2 controller contributed by Delfino Customs. And Delfino Customs is a controller and console business located in England. They specialise in customization, modification, and repairs. And if you quote the code BSG 2021 on any orders up until the 25th of August, you will get £5 off your order. And if you customise your controller cable with their paracord service, £5 will be donated to Mind. You can message them directly for all inquiries via their Twitter page at Delfino Customs.
I need to remember to myself that I need to have a custom PS controller, so maybe I'm gonna be sneaking a bit on their webpage later. Okay, for some reason my mind played a joke with me because I was talking, but it looks like I was talking just on my mind instead of talking with my mouth, so I'm really glad that I haven't said nothing because I was saying nonsense things again. And with this, we have got all the 25 crystals, and now the real thing is gonna come here. I'm gonna be out of my estimate just for some seconds. Or like 30 seconds maybe, or a bit less. And this is the boss fight. As we have seen with the previous run with Crash 1 on his trilogy, the boss fight is kinda similar, talking about Vortex, because again he's gonna be using his laser beam to try to shoot to us while both masks are fighting against each other. And after a while, Vortex is gonna throw some mines, but we just can avoid that and make a spin and make him fall into the middle hole of the stage. And I need to be careful trying to avoid the masks because they can also make the Crash lose his life. Really easy boss fight, that's why I consider the engine is the real boss of the game. And also it's a bit random where the mines are gonna be thrown. And for a moment I was gonna lose the possibility of giving hit to Cortex. And now speedrunning strat on the last phase, because the masks are gonna go directly to where I am. So I'm gonna be using this on my side in order to make that they destroy some of the mines that Cortex is gonna throw, so it's gonna be more easier for me to make a hit against him. So I'm just gonna keep here in order to make that they destroy. Okay, I failed there with what I was trying to do, but anyway, the time is gonna finish once I skip the next text box that is gonna appear, once I get the speed shoes, and time. And, well, this was Crash Bandicoot 3. And now, since I don't have the sound effects activated, we're not going to be having the last speech, but we get the bad ending of the game where Vortex is blaming on himself that he was defeated again, and now that he's having a small headache, so maybe vacations on a faraway island with a soda in his hand will be something good for him. And then Uka Uka tells to us that we haven't defeated them yet, because we need to collect the gems and the relics. And once we get all these elements and we find them, we get the original ending of the game. So this was Crash Bandicoot Warp, third and last platforming game developed by Naughty Dog for the PlayStation 2. Thanks to the BSG staff for giving me the opportunity of running this game. I'm gonna be running more games later in the marathon. And well, I'm also glad that we had this little Crash Bandicoot blog, and I think that this was everything on my side. Thank you for people who have been donated, and for all the people who are planning to donate into the rest of the band, and keep watching the marathon and donate for a good cause.
And thank you very much, Ghost, for an awesome run there of Crash Bandicoot Warped. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That does end our Crash Bandicoot mini block. That also ends my hosting shift. I've been HUD601. It's been wonderful being with you all on BSG Annual 2021. I'm going to be handing over to your everyday speedrunner. And coming up next on BSG Annual, we have Killer Chair, who's going to be running Broforce Arcade Mode. So don't go anywhere. We will be back soon. The marathon will continue.